Hey everybody, welcome to Rican's Awesome Wrestling. Today we're going to have Bruce Prichard on the Steve Austin Show from Podcast 1 talking about how wrestling affected his childhood. Big one here, guys. So let's go ahead and start the clip.
Let me ask you this, because, back in the day when I was watching, you didn't see kids like you do these days at the arenas. And so you and Tom, young cats, when you first got into business, what did all your friends think? Because, man, you guys were hanging with the bigwigs. Y'all were hanging with Paul Bosch and Houston Wrestling.
Well, most people didn't believe it. I remember the night that I was the ring announcer, man, for the very first time. I'm in high school, and there was a girl that I kind of knew and liked and everything, but she came to the matches that night from my high school with a guy, Steve Yeager, on the varsity football team. And I was made at that point, because here's Steve Yeager, like 2 or 3 years older than me, varsity football player, and all this stuff, and he's there with this girl and everything that's in my homeroom, and he just was like, oh, hey, wow, man, Bruce Prichard. And I became cool at that point. It was, I could hang out with the big kids then.
So that's how wrestling affected Bruce Prichard. For me, different story, because I started watching wrestling in 1983. I was 9 years old at that point in time. I remember my very first match I ever saw was from World Class. It was Jimmy Garvin versus none other than Iceman King Parsons. That guy, for a long time, before I discovered WWF, Parsons, that was my guy. I loved that guy. Obviously, I got into the Von Erichs, got into the Freebirds, but it was Iceman King Parsons who got me into wrestling. So tell me, guys, how did pro wrestling affect your childhood? When did you start watching? I'm guessing a lot of you guys started watching during the Attitude Era. So who was it who got you hooked? What was the first match that you ever saw and it got you hooked? So go ahead, put it in the comments, tell me what hooked you on pro wrestling. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.